Hey, what's up, fight fans? This is Dr. Jared Vasquez coming at you directly from Orlando, Florida, having some rest and relaxation. But yes, we had a chance to see Bellator 222, Dillon Danis against Max Humphrey. There was no secret here. He wanted to take this fight to the ground and get a submission, hence the title of this video, Dillon Danis' arm bars and injuries it could cause. Max Humphreys tried to stay on his feet, but Dillon Danis took him down with a beautiful takedown, was working on a rear naked choke for most of the first round, but at the end of the round he was able to switch up and catch the arm bar. The arm bar, what a simple submission. The attacker's hips against the flexor muscles of the defender, and the targeted joint is the elbow joint. Now, the structure of the arm is very simple. There's three bones involved: the humerus, and the radius, and the ulna. Now, the joint is the elbow joint, and the bones making up the elbow joint are the proximal end of the ulna and the humerus. So that's kind of the scoop that's grabbing that bone. So that's, you're battling against that joint and trying to hyperextend it. Now, from that injury, you could have hyperextension, damage to the cartilage of the elbow, LCL, lateral collateral ligament, and medial collateral ligament. But if you have somebody strong against that elbow, you can have an avulsion of the head of the olecranon. So that last part of the ulna could be fractured. And we're talking about a fulcrum, right? A focal point against the arm and the joint. So if you're catching the joint, you're causing damage to the joint. But if you're moving it further distally towards the wrist and you apply enough pressure, you can fracture the bones of the ulna and the radius on the mid shaft. Or if you're doing the fulcrum on a higher point, on a more proximal point, you can fracture the humerus. And there's also a joint right there between the radius and the ulna. There is a joint right there too that could be damaged. So to summarize that and put it in simple terms, you can have a hyperextension damage to the elbow. You can have a fracture if that fulcrum is moved north or south, or you can have damage to the intrinsic joint between the ulna and the radius. Most people hyperextend the joint, and most people tap early. I mean, we've all seen what Ronda Rousey did on arms, mangling arms and fracturing arms. That's because she's so ultra specialized that her hips are so powerful. Her technique is so powerful that you see that her opponents were trying to pull out, but she was grabbing onto that arm like there's no tomorrow and applying torque with her hips, and just is basic math. Hip muscles, arm muscles versus a single joint and the flexor muscles of the compartment is a no contest. You're gonna lose every single time unless you defend quickly. So there you have it, folks. Dillon Danis breaking down anatomy inside the Bellator cage. What a beautiful thing. I want to thank you guys for the support you've given me in my last video. I know that there was some terminology was off, but I'm trying to bring these injuries and explain it in as simple terms as possible. So thank you. We're going to keep making videos. We're taking in all your suggestions, and stay tuned. We're bringing some cool stuff.